It's more than enough to let the light in. The way you're making me feel, it's divine. It's enough to let it flow, let it be. 'Cause you're everything that I crave in this life. 'Cause we're everything we can find in another life. Take my hand and my promises, they're yours to be held, and I want you. I only want you. Keep my heart and my honor is yours to be held, and I want you. I only want you for the rest of my life. My life. For the rest of my life. You're in my sight, in my mind, in the quiet and the upfront out loud, in the calm, in my spirit and the storm. 'Cause you're everything that I crave in this life. 'Cause we're everything we can't find in another life. Take my hand and my promises, they're yours to be held, and I want you. I only want you. Keep my heart and my honor is yours to be held, and I want you. I only want you for the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. For the rest of my life. For the rest of my life.
Welcome to the locker room. I'm Nancy, and we have a terrific show for you today. This is at the request of one of my moderators. It was his thought to have this subject, and after researching it, I realized that. Hello, H. Davis. How are you doing? So, alrighty. Let's see. Yesterday, I couldn't be here because you can see that my eye's still red. I went to my PCP, and she thought, "Oh, I'm glad you're very good." Okay. She thought there was something wrong with my eye, so she couldn't use this machine that she's got that you put this dye in and it tells you what's wrong with the eye. But they had everything but the dye. So she wanted me to go to my ophthalmologist. So I went to my eye doctor, and he said, "You got a broken blood vessel. It's going to be all right in 7 to 10 days." I'm like, "Really? I've just paid $54 for you to say that?" He said, "Well, let's dilate your eyes and get them ready. Because I have to go back in like 10 days for my regular eye appointment. But my insurance wouldn't cover me getting my eye exam today or yesterday." So they dilated my eyes and did all that. He said the diabetic retinopathy is getting much better, which I don't know how long that's going to work since I'm not taking my diabetes medicine anymore. But it is what it is. Anyway, it is. So my eye is much better than it was. I mean, I can't see. This was all red, and now it's just like around this part, right outside the color, and it still itches. That's all I can do to keep it going. But I'm not gonna do that. So anyway, so our topic today is what is the importance of being in a relationship. So okay, let's pull this up on stage. Okay, now if you just type into Bing or your search engine or whichever one you use, I happen to use it's not Chrome, it's the I can't ever think of the name of it. Anyway, um, it goes by Bing. He uses Bing. Ooh, fiddlesticks. I know what it is. I really do. Is it Safari? No, Safari's on iOS. I don't know. Whatever it is, it's a little blue swirl. That's what I use on my phone. So anyway, I typed right into it and I said, what is the importance of being in a relationship? And there's many deep dives over here, reasons why relationships are important. The importance of relationship, it's a little Quizlet thing. Why are good relationships important? At first, it brought up romantic relationships, and that wasn't what I was asked to look up. I was just asked to look up relationships. So, why are strong relationships important? Why is a relationship important? Right, right. Why relationships are important to people. Why are relationships so important? And why relationships are important for well being. Relationships are fundamental to human well being, providing emotional support, enhancing mental health, and contributing to overall life satisfaction. Emotional and mental well being relationships play a crucial role in our emotional health. They provide a sense of belonging and support during challenging times. Strong social connections can act as a buffer against stress and depression, offering companionship, empathy, and understanding. Research indicates that individuals with robust social networks experience lower levels of anxiety and depression, leading to a more fulfilling life. Physical health benefits. That the impact of relationship extends beyond emotional well-being. They also significantly affect physical health. Studies have shown that people with strong social ties have a 50% greater likelihood of increased life expectancy compared to those with weaker connections. Positive relationships can reduce stress levels, lower blood pressure, and improve immune function, contributing to overall health. Personal growth and resilience. I don't want to look at that. Okay. Healthy relationships foster personal growth and resilience. They encourage individuals to pursue their goals and provide a support system during setbacks. Trust, honesty, and open communication are foundational elements that help build strong relationships, allowing individuals to feel secure and valued. That makes a lot of sense. I know when I was gone for 2 or 3 weeks because I was in depression, because I wasn't getting very many people coming to my channel, and I felt terrible about it. And then when I come back, started feeling a little bit better. Because it's just right now it's just me and H. Davis, but I can see that there's 3 people here. Please hit that thumbs up while you're here. Okay. Types of relationship. Understanding the different types of relationship can also highlight their importance. These include platonic relationships, deep friendships that prioritize trust and empathy. Romantic relationships involve love and commitment, providing emotional and physical intimacy. That's like for a husband and wife. Professional relationships, networking, and collaboration that can enhance career opportunities and personal development. That's like for if you're on your job. The first one is like friendships like you and I. You depend on me being honest with you, and I depend on you to be honest with me, and we have a trusting relationship. The conclusion. In summary, relationships are essential for a balanced and fulfilling life. They provide emotional support, enhance mental and physical health, and contribute to personal growth. A friendship is a relationship, yes. You have to trust your friends, and you trust that you want your friends to be honest with you, and you want to be honest with your friends. But at the same time, you're also free to joke around. And by joking around, I'm saying, like, you know, say things that's going to make each other laugh, and even though they're not true, and you know they're not true, and when you're playing the joke on your friend knows it's not true, but you're having fun with it, and you both know what the truth is. That's like it's like I don't know how to say it. Like if I say that my son fell in the mud, we can both laugh about it because we both know my son didn't fall in the mud. So, or like when we're at Walmart, my husband will rip a silent one, and then he'll tell everybody in Walmart that it was me. So, but it wasn't me. So anyway, yeah. So, okay. Reminding us that human connection is a vital aspect of our existence. And it's important to have. I have a friend that lives in Hutchinson, and anytime she calls and says that she needs me, if the roads are good, I will get in my truck and I will go to Hutchinson and I'll help her out. I have a friend in Wichita that she was going through a depression, and she hadn't cleaned her house since Thanksgiving, and it was nearly Christmas. And she called and said, "Can you come help me out?" I got in my truck and I went to Wichita and I helped her out. That's just the kind of friend I am. That's the way I've always been. I'm going to help somebody who needs help. Am I going to ask for help? More than likely not. I'm just not that person. I'm not saying I'm too good for help, don't get me wrong, but I'm always willing to help. I just don't hardly. I asked my son, I got my CJ, I don't need anybody else. But yeah, if I didn't have you on the other side looking in, then and watching me as we build our friendship between you and me, it's helping both of us with our serotonin levels and whatever. Okay, now let's pop up over here on Psychology Today, because that's what I went to school for. So once in a while, I got to pop a little bit of psychology in there. Okay, on Psychology Today, it says human survival and well being depend on social connections and meaningful relationships. Uh, there's several kinds. You can have a boyfriend that, you know, or a girlfriend or whatever. I don't know what side of the fence. I don't care what side of the fence somebody wants to swing on. The grass is green on both sides. So, uh, if your significant other, the relationship you have with them, it doesn't have to be physical, and let's hope it's not in the very beginning, because you want to get to know each other. You learn their names, you learn a little bit about their jobs, you learn what they like to do, you learn who they like to be around, you learn their hobbies and things, and pretty soon you guys are, close like this. But that doesn't mean you're ready to get married and do things, them bedroom doors got to stay open. Got to stay open. Um, but yeah, a completely platonic relationship, that means that there's no, I hug my friend Henry and I hug her husband Bill because we're friends. I hug my friend Sheena, but I also hug my husband, But my husband and I, our relationship is different than what it is with Sheena or Bill or Henry or, any of those. But it's all in the, I mean, you're not going to hug your girlfriend the same way you're going to hug your cousin. It's just that way. It's a friendship is different, and a platonic friendship is different than a physical friendship. What did I do? I wrote on my hand somehow. I don't know how I did it. I did it. Look, I got it on my fingers right there. I don't even know what I did. Um, but a physical relationship is a lot different than just a friendship. But friendships can lead to you can your friendship can advance past the stage of just being friends, and you can become romantic partners. Uh, let's hope you're of legal age to do so. Okay. Isolation increases risks of mental and physical health issues, including heart disease. Prioritizing face to face interactions, shared activities, and active listening strengthens bonds. I told my doctor, my PCP, yesterday when I went to get my eye checked by her that I had to quit taking my antidepressants because they were what was causing my dizzy spells. And she said, "Well, I thought we determined that was um, from motion sickness." And I said, "The Dramamine was helping for a while, and then it got to where it seemed like it made things worse." I said, "I went to Arkansas for Thanksgiving and forgot to take my medicine with me, and I didn't have a single dizzy spell. Then after we come back, I saw something on YouTube that told about antidepressants and anti-anxiety medications causing dizzy spells." I said, "So I tested them. I took one, and it caused a dizzy spell. I took didn't take it, and then a couple of days later I took the other one, and it caused me to be dizzy just as bad as the first one." And I said, "Well, I'm not taking any more of them." She said, my doctor, she's like, "You quit both of them cold turkey?" I said, "Yep." And she said, "Girl, you can't do that." I said, "I quit all my medication cold turkey." I said, "I can't tell whether I take it or if I don't take it. So what's it matter?" She said, "You don't get some kind of a serotonin feeling or something like that in your body when you take your medication?" I said, "Nope." I said, "I just pop it in my mouth and that's it. I never know it's there again." I said, "Same thing with my diabetes medicine. I can't tell I've taken it." So anyway, she decided she needs to send me to South Central Mental Health to have my medications evaluated. I said, there are no medications to evaluate. So I was filling out the paperwork today, and it said on there, it said for intake, $256. $226 if you're like a child, okay? But when you get up over 50 years old, the price goes up and up and up and up. And at my age, it's $256 just to walk in the door. And then to get your meds evaluated is another $256, and something else is another $214. And I called the lady. I'm like, I can't afford this. I said, if I could afford all this, I said, I wouldn't be having mental health problems. And she said, no, 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 no. She said, that's only if you don't have insurance. I said, well, it don't say that on this paper. And I said, you scared me. She said, no, no, no. You've got good medication. You've got good insurance, Blue Cross and Blue Shield, and you've got Medicare Part A and B for your disability. She said, it probably won't cost you hardly anything except the copay. And I said, it better not. Timu wants an evaluation on the cell phone I bought. Now, I bought a cell phone off of Timu because it's an Android and it's supposed to be Samsung A25 or something. I don't remember what it was. The little thing is this big. It's this big. Cereal. It's like, yes, sir.
How about a cookie?
You can, if you will.
What are you doing?
I'm on live.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Anyway, it's a teeny tiny cell phone. I don't know if I'm going to switch over to it or not. But CJ cracked his cell phone lens, so I might see if my SIM card will fit in there and go from there. I don't know. I got to take it to Verizon and find out. But not the Verizon in Andover, because the Verizon in Andover, they just reset my phone. And I was like, no, I don't want that. Anyway, okay. Human beings are inherently social creatures. Our evolutionary history is closely connected to common living, cooperation, and interdependence. From early hunter-gatherer societies to modern urban life, our survival and well-being have always depended on our relationships with others. Despite technological advancements that enable remote work and virtual communication, social isolation has increasingly become a significant concern, negatively impacting both mental and physical health. Acknowledging our fundamental need for connection, assessing our social engagement, and implementing strategies to nurture meaningful relationships can lead to healthier, more fulfilling lives. The evolutionary importance of social bonds. That's the same thing as friendships. Throughout history, human survival has relied on cooperation. Early humans formed groups to hunt, gather food, build shelters, and protect each other from dangers. Living in groups facilitated and sharing of knowledge, problem solving, and resource distribution, enhancing individuals' chances of survival and reproduction. Evolutionary biologists suggest that humans develop social behaviors to boost survival and reproductive success. Dunbar, 1993. Our brains evolved to support social interactions with neural networks designed to process social information, and nurture relationships. Cacopio, Cacoipo, and Patrick, 2008. Research shows that belonging to a group provides survival advantages and contributes to emotional well-being. Anthropological studies indicate that early humans engaged in rituals, storytelling, and cooperative child rearing practices that strengthened social bonds and enhanced group cohesion. Tomasello, 2014. The need for social connection is also deeply ingrained in our biology that our bodies react negatively to prolonged isolation. When I was sitting around this house with nobody to talk to except my 4 dogs because I was stuck in the snow, I felt isolated. I felt like I really couldn't get out the bed because I'd get out of the bed and then I'd just sit on the bed because my dogs were stuck in the house because of the cold temperatures and the snow. And I don't like leaving my dogs in the basement without me because there's too much that can get tore up. And they are playful German Shepherds. So, and plus I didn't want any accidents on my carpet down there. Okay. The effects of isolation on human health. Isolation and loneliness significantly impact both mental and physical health. Research indicates a correlation between social isolation and increased risk of depression, anxiety, and cognitive decline. Prolonged periods of loneliness can also lead to physical issues such as high blood pressure, heart disease, and a weakened immune system. Hockley and Kakiopo of 2010. The abundance of social interaction can trigger a stress response in the body, resulting in chronic inflammation and other long-term health complications. I'm wondering, is this saying that elderly people in the nursing homes who don't have somebody coming to visit them on a regular basis, that's why their health goes downhill and their feet and legs swell when they get them up to sit in the recliner or the wheelchair for a while? I used to work as a CNA, and we used to have we used to have clients that would have a lot of problem with swelling in their lower extremities and in their hands and feet. And they were people that either stayed in their bed all day long and watched television, or that was my dog, if you heard that. That was my dog outside. And I'm wondering if, right now I'm kind of putting the two and two together that, I'm wondering if they had this cognitive decline and the swelling of their lower extremities and their arms and hands and whatever because they were lonely. They didn't have anything to stimulate them and get their blood flowing. Makes a lot of sense now. A well-known study on loneliness found that individuals with strong social ties were 50% more likely to survive than those with weak social connections. Holt, Lund, Smith, and Layton in 2010. The adverse effects of isolation are so profound that some researchers compare the health risk of chronic loneliness to smoking 15 cigarettes a day. These findings underscore the necessity of maintaining social relationships for overall well-being. Well, if you smoke 15 cigarettes a day, you might as well be lonely because nobody gonna want to be around you. I used to smoke, and I used to smoke about that much. And I didn't ever smell the cigarette smoke. But when I quit smoking cigarettes on September 1st of 2024, it was about the first part of October when I got to the point where I was beginning to hate the smell of cigarette smoke. And now, today, if I'm like in a doctor's office and somebody that smokes comes into the doctor's office, I'm like, oh my gosh. Like that. I'm not rude about it, but I'm thinking to myself, how can I get away from this person? And like, today I got up and went and looked at, or yesterday I went and looked at glasses because it was on the other side of the room, but I could still hear it. Okay, assess. It's hard to say some words when you got false teeth. Assess your social involvement. Considering the importance of social connections, it is crucial to evaluate your level of social engagement. Here are some questions to help you assess your social involvement. How often do you interact with friends, family, or colleagues meaningfully? Well, outside of being here with you like this, I see my son for a few minutes every day. But other than that, it's like once or twice a month I'll go to Hutchinson. Other than that, that's about it. I see my husband when he comes home, and that's once every month, every 2 months for 3 or 4 days. So I don't have a lot of interaction with other people. I really don't. Do you feel supported and valued by the people around you? Yes, I do. I really do. The people that are involved in my life are involved in my life. They are really important parts of my life. And you are important to me because without you, I wouldn't have a channel. And how frequently do you participate in social or community activities? I don't. I don't go out in public and do things. I'll go to the Goodwill, or I'll go to an estate sale or something like that. But as far as going out and being part of my community, I don't do that. I'm too shy. Too shy. When facing challenges, do you have someone to turn to for emotional support? I have my husband. I can call him anytime. I can call my friend Henry. I can call my friend Sheena. I can call Karen. I can call Sherry. I have people I can call. And one of my friends from school, Mike, I don't have his phone number, but I can call him through Facebook. Do you engage in activities that foster new social connections? I don't think I do. So if your answers indicate a lack of meaningful social engagement, it may be time to take proactive steps to strengthen your relationship and expand your social network. I don't think I want to. 3 ways to foster connections. Prioritize face-to-face interactions. This is close to a face-to-face interaction as I want to be with people that I do not know personally. And the only people that I'm really friends with are people I went to school with. And I was put in the environment. I had to be at school, so I had to get to know these people. So those are the people I socialize with. Outside of people I went to school with, I have no friends. Well, I can't say that because my husband and I knew each other since we were 7. But his cousin and her husband, they're my friends. And my husband's family is my friends. But I didn't go to school with any of them. But the ones I've met, I am friends with. So, but we don't go hang out and stuff. Leon Liana would. We could go out and hang with Liana. We go to her house sometimes, and she comes here sometimes. But other than that, no. Prioritize face-to-face interactions. While digital communication is convenient, in-person interactions provide deeper emotional connections. Make an effort to meet friends for coffee, join a club, or attend community events. Studies show that face-to-face interactions help reduce stress and increase feelings of belonging. Okay, now I need to change that. I have my sister in Arkansas and her fiance and their child. They're my friends. And then I have my daughter in Arkansas and her husband and her 4 kids, and they're my friends, but they're also my family. So, you know, there's not a whole lot of people that I do hang out with, and I have family down in Arkansas that I don't hang out with very often. I have one cousin that I call a lot, but that's only because he's my mechanic. So, but he's also been my best friend since we were 7 years old. Second best friend. Engage in shared activities. Participate in group activities such as volunteering, team sports, or hobby groups can foster social connection. Shared experiences create bonds and a sense of belonging. Research indicates that cooperative tasks enhance trust and strengthen relationships. Now, my husband keeps trying to get me to join bicycle groups because there are groups for people that ride bicycles around here. But I don't want to hang around with people I don't know. I'm too awkward. I'm going to say something dumb. I'm just afraid to be around people. Practice active listening and empathy. Strengthening social ties involves being a good listener and showing genuine interest in others. Active listening, fully focusing on the speaker, making eye contact, and responding thoughtfully, can enhance the quality of relationships. Demonstrating empathy builds trust and deepens connections, making interactions more meaningful. Okay, this is almost it. Okay. The power of connection, embracing relationships for a healthier life. Humans have always relied on one another for survival, emotional support, and overall well-being. Social connections are vital to both our evolutionary past and contemporary lives. Conversely, isolation and loneliness can adversely affect mental and physical health. We can live healthier, more fulfilling lives by assessing our social engagement and fostering relationships through face-to-face interactions, shared activities, and attentive listening. In a world that increasingly promotes digital communications, prioritizing genuine, meaningful connections is more important than ever. Okay, so that's telling us that it's important to get out there and do something with someone, get to know somebody new. And if you're in the doctor's office, you can strike up a conversation with somebody else who's waiting to be seen and see if there's anything you have in common. If you like to thrift like I do, oftentimes I catch myself talking to people. When I'm in a mood where I want to try to meet somebody new and make a new friend or whatever, I'll catch myself trying to talk to people in the thrift stores. But it never gets far enough to the point where we exchange even our first name or anything like that. Okay, so this is The Importance of Relationships from Robert Stephen Kaplan. And let's see what he has to say. Let's come up here. Let's give him a thumbs up and let's listen.
Leadership is to take action in a way that adds value to someone else. If you're going to be adept at understanding yourself, understanding your story, particularly your failure narrative, understanding your strengths and weaknesses, trying to come to grips with.
He did actually say failure narrative. Your failure narrative. Understanding yourself, understanding your, particularly your failure narrative. Okay.
Particularly your failure narrative. Understanding your strengths and weaknesses, trying to come to grips with what your passions are, having a good grip on your ethical boundaries and values. These are not the kind of things that are easy to do all by yourself. You need relationships to do this. And what do I mean by relationships? So when I use the term relationships, people tend to think of affection. Oh, I like this person. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about the clinical definition of relationship, which means mutual trust, mutual understanding, mutual respect, which means you can discuss a sensitive issue with them. You trust them, and they in turn trust you. You respect the person, and it'd be great if they respected you. And when I say relationship, I'm not talking about how many people you're connected to on, pick your social media platform. Lots of people are connected to thousands of people, and they got no relationships at all. When I sit with people who are struggling and they come to see me, first thing I ask them, who have you spoken to? And the answer invariably, more often than not, is no one. Why? Clergy, family member, friend, blah, 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 brother, sister. They don't have anybody that clicks all three of those boxes: mutual trust, mutual understanding, mutual respect. So how do you get these relationships? You got to work at it, and they've got to be done face to face. You're not going to develop a relationship with somebody remotely or being connected to them. You got to do three things, in my opinion. You have to share information about yourself, okay? Or if you're running a business, share information about the business. It's pretty tough to have a relationship with somebody if you withhold information. They have to understand you, and they have to understand what you want to talk to them about. But in order to do that, you got to share some information. Number two, you have to be able to ask them questions, which I call inquiry. Ask them questions so you'll better understand them and get to know them, okay? It builds trust and respect. And third, seek advice and allow them to seek advice, if appropriate, from you. And this has to be done face to face. Share information, ask questions about them, seek advice. And if you do that enough with people, you build relationships with them. It doesn't happen overnight. It does not happen in the first meeting. You can't be forced. It could take months or even years. And if you're lucky, after that investment, you might have 5 or 10 relationships. That would be a lot, okay? Now, on a business front, you might have more relationships, people that you can talk to. But on a personal side, to understand your failure narrative or a lot of these sensitive issues, you might be doing well to have a handful, okay? I don't care whether it's 4 or 5 or 6, but I do care if it's 0, okay? So what I would say to you, practice it. A lot of people have lost the relationship muscles. Now they brag, oh, I've got 1,000 followers, or I'm talking to people all the time, or I'm out there socially. But how often are you sharing something real, authentic, asking about them, seeking?
He mentions 1,000 followers. It got me thinking. We've got these other content creators, not myself, but they have like 3,000, 2,000, 1,500, whatever, 1,700 followers, subscribers, because there for a while, everybody, if you clicked on somebody because you liked them, you become a subscriber. Now, if you watch YouTube and the way it works, if you click the like button on somebody, it kind of automatically makes you a subscriber, an unofficial subscriber, because it's going to put that person's content up on your wall to be seen again and again. And so Just because they have 1,700 or 3,000 subscribers, how many people are there when they're online? I have over 700 subscribers, but how many people are here when I'm online? 1, 2, 3. People watch me in the replay, which is fine, and I appreciate the people that watch in the replay. Just please hit that thumbs up, and you can share any of my information with anybody you want. But yeah, it's not the amount of followers you have, it's the quality of followers you have. Like my moderators, if Amanda Panda was able to be here, I don't even know if she knows I'm back going live. But if Amanda Panda was able to be here, she would be here every night. But she now has a full-time job, and her husband have taken time to start going to the gym together, and they eat their meals together, and their life is expanding, and they are growing as a couple. And I would rather see that happen than see her take away from time with her husband just to sit here with me. Because their relationship is more important to me than her being here. Because she would be here if she could be here. And she might be in the background. I don't know. She may be just kind of trolling there. If you are, hi, sweetie. I love you. So, and then I've got H. Davis. He's another one of my moderators. And he's a wonderful person. And I think in the last, let's see, since August, September, October, November, December, January, in the last 5 months, I think H. Davis and I have built a friendship. Because if I'm not on here, he's going to email me and find out if I'm okay. And that's a sweet person. He's a sweet person. I didn't catch the email the day he sent it when I wasn't on here for a while. But when I come back and I went to check my emails, I did see the email where he had messaged me to ask me if I was okay. And I didn't mean to not respond to you. I just hadn't seen the email. Okay. And about relationships with people that aren't there, yeah, you can. My husband's an over-the-road truck driver. And like I said, I see him maybe 4 days a month. But we talk on the phone every day. And sometimes it's only 5 minutes. I ain't like Katie and Chris Proudfoot. We ain't on the phone for 2.5, 3 hours. Unless he wants, because when he's ready to start talking about his bicycle, I'm ready to get off the phone. I don't want to hear about it. Or when he starts talking about his camera equipment, I'm ready to get off the phone. Because he says the same thing over and over and over and over, and I get bored with it. So, I mean, as long as I know he's okay and he knows I'm okay and I love him and he loves me, we don't have to say a whole lot. If something important happens, he knows I'm going to call him and tell him. Or if something important happens, I know he's going to call me and he's going to tell me. If I go to the doctor, he calls me want to know, what did the doctor say? We got the important calls that we have. Sometimes we're on the phone 2 or 3 times a day. There's been times like when I was reformatting my computer last week, we were on the phone almost all day because I don't know how to do that. And I have to call him and have him talk me through what I do. But then we get off the phone while we're waiting on it to do its business. And then I call him back when it's done and we go on further. And then we get off the phone, and when it gets done doing what it's going to do, the computer resets. And that's just the way it is. Okay, so here we go. But yeah, we have a great relationship going on 45 years, 47 years, something like that. And we don't see each other all the time, not very often.
Advice. I'm saying if you're going to do these exercises and get in shape and understand yourself, and I'd say even to do vision, priorities, and alignment, you're going to need to build relationships, mutual trust, mutual understanding, mutual respect. In order to do that, share information, ask questions, seek advice.
That's good advice. All right. And me, we got to go to Dr. Phil. Got to see what Dr. Phil, I have 3 different programs that he's got that I looked up information on today. All righty, let's give him the thumbs up. This is just the Dr. Phil show. Says advice for a successful relationship. Up here, give me a thumbs up. Let's go. It's only 4 minutes.
My husband Bill and I, we share a deep, abiding love.
We've been together for a long time, so I don't want to lose what we got.
I believe our marriage is worth saving. I do not want to start over again. I've admired Dr. Phil and his wife, Robin, for years, and I love the way when they exit the stage, they always hold hands and they walk together as a team. And I would love it if my husband and I could share that same camaraderie and friendship. We have love, but we need to be able to get along.
Well, today we're talking about the issue of gray divorces when Americans 50 and over split up. Now, Laura and her husband, Bill, say the divorce word has come up during their marriage and they want to fix what's wrong. Now, I can tell you, Robin and I have been married 46 years. We've been together 50, but we've been married 46 years.
Congratulations.
How many times has the D word come up in our relationship in 46 years?
Not one time.
Not one time.
No.
And let me tell you why. Because we made a decision real early on that no matter what we're discussing, no matter what argument we may be having, no matter what disagreement we're talking about, the relationship is never the stakes for which we're playing.
Yes.
That's just off the table.
It's not an option.
That's threatening somebody with something, and unless you mean it. If you mean it, do it.
Yes.
And if you don't ever threaten somebody with that. So we just made the agreement early on. That's not ever, in fact, she made a comment about if I ever leave her. What is it you say?
If you ever leave me, I'm going with you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I follow. I've told
Yeah.
him I'll follow.
no point. She said, "You ever leave me, I'm going with you." So it's just never an issue. Doesn't so then you can disagree, and you don't have to worry about.
My husband and I agreed when we got married that wouldn't be a word that we discuss either. Because A, we're both too old to start over. B, if after this many years of knowing each other, we can't get it right, then we're both in some serious trouble. So, I mean, we've both been married and divorced 3 times prior to our marriage. But we had to go through those 3 marriages each. Me with all 3 of my abusive husbands, and him with all 3 of his wives. I'm not going to put any adjectives in there explaining his ex-wives. That's not my position. I've only met one of them, so I can't talk about the other 2. One of them was a real short marriage. It's like he met her, married her, and he was divorced within 9 months. So, I mean, yeah, that was just he said that was a mistake. So, but we had to go through those 3 marriages each so that we could learn what not to do in this marriage. We made all of our mistakes back then. Now, that's not to say we don't make mistakes now, because we do. But we get past them, because getting mad about them isn't going to change the fact that it happened. Excuse me. So, getting mad about it's not going to change it. We have to agree that it didn't kill either one of us. We still care about each other. We still love each other. So we don't need to say the D word because it ain't going to do either one of us any good. So, because I don't have anything I want to move on to past him. He doesn't have anything he wants to move on to past me. So why give each other that option if it's not necessary?
Things going nuclear.
Yes.
Can you all do that?
I can.
Yeah, we can. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
you got to decide we're not going to play for those stakes. Now, Bill, you told our producers that you would like for her to listen more. What do you mean?
Well, she over talks me a lot, and I don't really talk very much. So
Yeah.
it's really, I just wish you would hear me a little bit more.
Right.
So
But I need you to talk so I can hear what the issues are and what's bothering you.
You know, there's a formula to success in a relationship. The quality of a relationship is a function of the extent to which it's built on a solid underlying friendship. Okay, stop right there. Just there's two parts to this. That it's built on a solid underlying friendship. Do you guys have a friendship?
Oh, we've been friends for over 34 years.
Yeah, that wasn't my question.
yes,
Do
we
you have a solid underlying friendship? Now,
I believe we do.
Yes.
like if you have friends at work or friends that you hang out with, when you see each other, you don't see friends and kind of walk in and go, oh.
No, I don't.
Yeah, when you see friends, you
I
might,
don't really
you know,
talk too much.
men are different. I mean, men are just different than women. There are fundamental differences between the two, which is a good thing. You don't want to be married to you, right?
Oh my gosh, no.
You don't want to be married to somebody like you, do you? What would it be like to be married to you?
Yeah.
Nothing to get done.
I didn't ask you. I asked him. Are you a ventriloquist?
Yeah.
It sounded like she answered when I asked you. I
Yeah,
see
that's
what
what
you
I'm
mean.
talking about.
Yeah. The second part of that is that the relationship meets the needs of both people involved. You need to figure out what each other's emotional needs are and then try to meet those. Do you have a story or a question for me? Click the link in the description and tell me what in the world is going on.
Okay. So that was the first Dr. Phil on just. Now we're going to go to Dr. Phil fill in the blanks. He's got like two podcasts and his regular TV show, and all of those are on YouTube now. And I really like Dr. Phil. I like what he does. It's what I went to school for. So, I mean, yeah. Let's give him a thumb up. This is the Dr. Phil podcast, and he's talking about relationships. And this is 3 minutes and 8 seconds, so it's not very long.
I've been talking to you about boundaries, right? Social circle cleanup. Here's a good rule. Stop needing people that don't need you.
I am guilty of that. For a while, when I thought friendships were quantity, not quality, I was trying to be friends with people, and I'd go out and help people, and they wouldn't care one thing about me. I was the doormat. Oh, I'm sorry. Well, at least you can go back and watch the replay. I was the doormat. People would call me, hey, will you come do this? Hey, I'm getting rid of this. Do you want it? Come get this. I don't want it anymore. Come get this, And I became their doormat. They weren't treating me like a friend. They were treating me like the person that would do the things that they didn't want to do. And when I realized that I couldn't be that person, it was tearing me down because I was getting to the point where I would say, yeah, I'll go do this just so that I can have somebody to have adult conversation with. Well, I have an adult son now. Not that I have very many conversations with him, but I do have somebody I can have conversations with. And, I have friends. I call my friend Henry. I call my friend Karen. They both call me. It's a go both way friendship. Some people that I talk to, I only talk to on social media, but that don't make them any less of a friend. That's just because they haven't made it to the friendship stage where they get my phone number. Because I don't give it out to everybody. All right, let's listen to Dr. Phil.
You notice I paused for a minute because I want that to sink in. Stop needing people that don't need you. If you've got people in your life that they just don't pay attention to you, they don't value you, they don't treat you with dignity and respect, then you need to get over those people. And you say, well, Dr. Phil, that's easy to say. It's not easy to do. I didn't say it was easy to do. I just said it needs doing. Stop needing people that don't need you. I tell people, stop chasing the wrong one because the right one won't run. I grew up with 3 sisters, and I was next to the youngest. And even when I was 12 years old, I would see my older sisters where they'd be chasing after some guy, and I would say, look, that's not who you want. How do you know that? You're 12. I said, because if he was the right one, he wouldn't be running away from you. The right one won't run. Quit chasing him. When he's the right one, they resonate with you. They click with you. They have chemistry, whether it's a friend or a lover. It doesn't matter. People that care about you, that value you, love you, they won't run from you. They will be drawn to you. You will bond. You will share things together. So clean up this social circle you're in. If you've got toxic people in it, clean it up. I'd rather be healthy alone than sick with somebody else, wouldn't you? Wouldn't you rather be healthy alone than in a toxic, sick, pathological, damaging relationship with somebody else? I would. I like me okay. I don't want to be alone, but if I'm going to do it, I'm not a bad person to do it with. Decide that about yourself. Because you won't be alone. There are people in this world for everybody. And I want you to become a discerning shopper. 2022, when it comes to relationships, you need to have some discernment.
He makes a lot of sense right there. I mean, okay. I mean, better to be alone and in a good relationship with your friend, yourself, than to be in a toxic relationship. And we shouldn't chase the people that, for years and years and years, I tried to get my brothers to tell me what I did wrong, why they don't want anything to do with me. I never got the answer. And then I realized it doesn't matter because I'm me. And I've been me all this time. I've been trying to get them to like me. I've still been me. And I'm not going to change and I'm not going to go anywhere. And one day they may change their mind and they may need something. Am I going to be there? Let's hope it's not too late. All right, so next, the last, Dr. Phil, is from, I guess it's Uncensored, Dr. Phil Uncensored. So I guess it's one of his shows. So this is Dr. Phil Uncensored. He's walking in the back. Walking in the back. Let's give him his thumbs up.
One thing we know for sure is that marriages, committed relationships, are certainly not long dates. And I've said you need to see people in so many different circumstances before you ever decide that they're the match for you. You got to see them when they're sick. You got to see them when they're in stress. You got to see them when they're really in a bad mood, as well as all the fun stuff. Because once you're married, you don't both show up with your hair done and a clean shirt on and ready to go do something. So think about this. Premarital counseling is available at probably every church in America, and it is so important to talk about where you stand on your expectations for sex, where you stand on your expectations about children, religion, in-laws, geography, profession, all of those sort of things. Do the work first. It pays off later.
Well,
51% of adults younger than 30 years old say an open marriage with multiple partners is perfectly acceptable.
no, thank you. Nope. I trust my husband 100%, but I'm not going to allow something like that. I may be dumb, but I'm not stupid. Because, I mean, if you're into open relationships and open marriages, that's all on you. That's fine. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not going to say you're doing anything wrong. But the reason I don't want it in my life is because there's too many things out there. If my husband's out there and he knows somebody that he meets while he's driving, whatever, who's to say that person doesn't have COVID? And just because he doesn't get COVID from being with that person doesn't mean he's not going to bring it home and give it to me. And in turn, give it to my son by just hugging him goodbye or hello or whatever. Or if he's, under the sheets active with that person and they have some sort of something or another that Ajax won't wash up, who's to say he's not going to bring it home and give it to me? I don't want that. If my husband doesn't want me for me, and he thinks he needs to go get something someplace else, there's the door. Don't let it hit you where the good Lord split you. Because you chose to be with me. You didn't choose to be with somebody else. If I don't make you happy, go get whatever's going to make you happy, but don't bring it back home with me. That's just the way it is. He feels that way, I feel that way. It's a mutual agreement between the two of us. I'm not going to force him to stay where he doesn't want to be. He's not going to force me to stay where I don't want to be. So if he wants to go get some strange somewhere else, he can just keep that stranger going. And I'm the same way. If I was to choose to want to go do something with somebody else, I can just don't let the door hit me on the way out, because I'm not coming back in. But, that's not an important part of my life or his. So we have a very strong relationship. And we don't have to worry about either one of us going anywhere else. So, all right. H. Davis, I hope I answered your questions and you got the information you needed about friendship. And yes, friendships are very important. They help you with your mental health. They help you to have a smile on your face. They give you a reason to have a smile on your face. And you can't go through everything just trying to figure things out on your own. You have to have somebody you can talk to. And when you're in a relationship or a friendship, or you have a trusting companion that you can talk to about things that bother you, it helps you live longer. If you're a man and you like women, some men don't, some men do. It don't matter. Some women are the same way. Whoever your significant other, your partner is, it doesn't have to be romantic. You can be partners with somebody without romance. You can be best friends with somebody. Whoever your person is, everybody has to have a person. Some people have more than one person. And it's important to find your person, or your person, let your person find you. And find a reason to make each other smile. That's why I say at the end of every one of my videos, do something nice for someone, even if it's be the reason they smile today. Because helping somebody smile might inadvertently prevent them from doing something that's irreversible. So, that's my goal. I don't want anybody to go do something that doesn't need to be done. It's something that can't be changed. Alrighty, so thank you for being here. If you're on the replay, please hit the thumbs up, and I appreciate you being here just as much as I appreciate the people that are here when I'm live. And hopefully you can see me Monday night. I would have been here last night, but after my pupils were dilated, I couldn't stand. I have a white background here on my computer, as you can see in my glasses. And I couldn't look at my computer because of the white just glared right into my dilated pupils. You can still tell they're a little bit dilated still yet today. But, okay, so let's do something. I'll see you Monday night. Do something nice for someone, even if it's be the reason they smile. And let me put my email address up here. All right, if you have a topic you would like me to discuss, please feel free to email me and I will figure it out. And we'll have it on a live stream. All right. Thank you for being here. Do something nice for someone, even if it's be the reason they smile. And let's figure it out.